So, I wanted to make a video sharing with you guys some thoughts that I have about this channel and some thoughts that I have about some feedback that I'm receiving about the channel. Because I'm not doing as well as I hoped that I would by now. And so I've been asking around for some feedback, but I, I have huge issues with a lot of this feedback. So I thought I should just share them with you and my thoughts about it so that maybe we could figure something out. So, one criticism that actually dates back to the beginning of this channel has been that you sound a bit angry. You're not going to convert many homophobes with that attitude. And I mean, my target audience isn't homophobes. And my thought process behind me showing these emotions in my videos has been that I am debunking homophobic arguments. That is going to touch me emotionally. Anything else would be weird. And I wanted to show passion. And I wanted to be genuine. And so it became what it became. I have been trying to convert the anger into laughing. But I mean, it still comes from the same place. And the past month, when I've asked for more feedback, the same kind of feedback seems to repeat itself. Some have told me that I'm coming off as shouty and preachy, and one have even reminded me to calm down. And when I ask for more information about this, they tell me, I'm saying from the way you speak, it's almost like we're being treated as lesser instead of being talked to one on one. I'm just like, I know this. Why is it being angrily told to me again? What is clear to me, though, is that these people, who I consider my target audience, don't think the videos are for them. And that is a huge problem. And when I tell them that my target audience isn't homophobes, that I want to inspire the people who care about these things in one way or another, like LGBT plus people or allies, then they tell me that if they are your allies, they probably don't need to be inspired. It's the lukewarm ones who pay superficial homage to issues of gay liberation, but avoid any form of activism in the wider community or in their personal lives, I suspect you should be targeting. And I just have huge issues understanding and believing that it is the shoutiness and the anger that causes these issues that I'm having with the channel, because there are countless of YouTube channels and TV shows out there, like, for example, The Angry Joe Show, and on Swedish television there has been a show called The Angry Carpenter, whose main point is to rant. And people eat it up. That's why they exist. And on The Young Turks, for example, when they tell news about Donald Trump, many times they scream at the camera in frustration, and then no one goes, oh, I already know that Donald Trump is stupid. Why is it angrily being told to me again? No one says that. They feel strengthened by those arguments. And so why is it suddenly bad when I do it? I really don't understand that. I don't need to come down on the people who have given me this feedback. I'm just trying to explain why I'm having so much issues with it. And I mean, if I'm wrong, you can hopefully take these thoughts and prove me wrong. Hopefully we can have a conversation about it. But these are the thoughts that I'm having right now. And I also have huge trouble believing and accepting that it is the target audience that causes these issues with my channel. At least when it comes to the notion that I should really be targeting the lukewarm people, because guess what the lukewarm people says? They say that it's not for them either. And of course they say that, because if they're lukewarm, they're not going to look up the information and therefore not find my videos. So the lukewarm people says to me that your videos are mostly for the people who experience these issues in their everyday lives, and they might actually have a point. But I still disagree with the notion that my videos aren't for activists. In my view, my target audience are people who who for one reason or another care about these things and want an in-depth look. And it could be people who experiences homophobia in their everyday lives. I know from personal experience how painful that can be, to get into this inner conflict of asking yourself, should I go with my sexuality or should I change myself? That self-hatred that is always there, that is very damaging. And I really want these people to watch my videos so that I at least can contribute to ridding them of any feeling that there's something wrong with them. And I do believe in my arguments. I do believe that they are interesting, but I don't only do that. I also provide the facts. And I don't only, most of the times, link a random article on the internet. I read the research and I link you the research so that you can read it for yourself. And I don't even see the main LGBT plus organizations in Sweden do that. And that's why I think that my videos are for activists too. I actually contacted one of the main LGBT plus organizations in Sweden trying to find out the facts, trying to get a list of research about what we know so far, how some people comes to be homosexual. And they could not provide me with that. There was nothing on the site, and when I contacted them, they could not provide me. Instead, they linked to an episode from a radio show that someone else did, where they interviewed a professor researching these things. And this researcher says that, yeah, you can definitely be born with your sexuality. Homosexuality can definitely be genetic. And I think it was in that very episode where people from that LGBT plus organization kind of disputed that research. It's almost like they didn't want it to be true. It's almost like science was an enemy to them. They used arguments like, well, what if science then says that you can change your sexuality? Homosexuality should be okay no matter what research says. And yeah, I can kind of buy that argument, but now when someone shows a result that is on their side, that you can't change sexuality and so you shouldn't try, then they should at least go say something like, okay, it isn't proven, but it's very interesting. But they didn't treat it like that. And I find that very odd. There's another LGBT plus organization in the town that I live in with young LGBT plus people, and I turned to them trying to get my videos seen and trying to get my videos spread. And there was one person there who actively distanced themselves from my videos, making that known. And using the same arguments that it shouldn't matter what the science says, homosexuality and the trans should be okay anyway. And yeah, I agree. But science in this case is not your enemy. And so from further discussion, I gathered that if science can say these things, then science can kind of also tell you who you are. And no one should tell you who you are other than you. If you feel like you are a man in a woman's body, then science shouldn't tell you that, no, you're not, because you decide for yourself. So that seems to what this fear of science seems to come from. But science is on your side here. It isn't the enemy. So, I mean, at least in the cases where it helps your cause, there shouldn't be a problem. And of course, that organization didn't want to help me. So it really seems like this mentality is something that is really damaging to my channel. And I also find that very odd. So another thing that I tried was to post my videos on Discord. They find whole chat servers dedicated to LGBT plus. So you can find thousands of them there. So I thought that if only 10 or 20% were to sub to my channel, I would have doubled in size. And so what happens when I post things there? It doesn't seem to do much. I mean, people don't seem to see it. And if they see it, they kind of just go, you're cute. And so, I mean, I gather that there are lots of LGBT plus people there who are today experiencing homophobia in their everyday lives. And even they don't seem to react to my videos. So another feedback that I've gotten is that I sound like a news reporter, and they compared me to other YouTube channels with LGBT plus people where they sit down and they invite you to your home. And I'm like, sure, you can do that. But I mean, is there a rule against being a gay news reporter on YouTube? I mean, why is that wrong? Now, one thing that I could see work against me is that I do have some unpopular opinions, in my own opinion. While I'm criticizing the homophobic side, I am also actually criticizing some things that the LGBT plus community does. For example, I do not believe in this LGBTQIA plus acronyms because it is too long. People even have trouble accepting the addition of Q into these acronyms. So I do feel like it's shooting yourself in the foot, making it longer. We have to be realistic and keep it easy to use. I mean, you could just go Q plus, and that includes just as many as you want to include. But yeah, I could understand if people seeing this and not wanting to promote my channel because of that. But I can see how that could work against me. But then again, I can also see how that could work for me, because I view myself on my channel as kind of more balanced then. That could be the link between the two worlds then, maybe. Another problem that I could see is that in the LGBT plus community, I see this want to spread love, not to focus on the negative. And yeah, I think that's admirable. I also think, though, that you should do both. You should spread love, you should spread happiness, but you should also be able to debunk homophobia. I do believe that it's important to do both things. But yeah, I couldn't understand if that is the culture to show positivity, and on my channel, I kind of attack more than I do that. Then yeah, maybe that is a problem. And something that makes me unsure too is that I'm not sure if I'm built for this. I mean, I am kind of afraid of conflict. I have a very emotionally hard time when I get negative comments. I do answer them or I ignore them. Mostly they are just idiots being dumb. But it does take its toll on me emotionally. So I'm starting to ask myself, am I able to handle the success even if I get it? So that kind of raises the question, should I quit? And I don't think that I should. I really don't want to do that because I do feel that I have a lot to give. So yeah, when I ask for feedback, some people say that the videos aren't for them, it's for the lukewarm people. The lukewarm people says that the videos aren't for them, it's for the people who experience these issues in their everyday lives. And then when I contact organizations to try to get my videos out to these people, then they don't want to help me. That is a huge problem. So what should I do here? So I'm passing this question on to you. What are your thoughts about this?